Make it easy.
Well, we've had 2 good practices in a row. A couple days ago, I was disappointed with our attitude and the lack of being physical in practice, but it was better yesterday, and it was even better today. There was enthusiasm throughout the practice, and so we accomplished a lot this morning.
One of the trademarks of this offense is it goes fast, and certainly you probably don't expect it to be that fast yet, but do you see it speeding up to where it will be there where you want it to be game time?
I feel comfortable with our tempo. It was better yesterday and even better today. Obviously, we time every rep in team period, so we know where we're at, and I feel like that we're moving at a good pace. And the first 5-6 practices or so, it'll be just a little bit slower because you have guys in there that are working in the skill positions that haven't ever played, and so there's some thought process that's taking place. But I'm not concerned. I think we'll move very fast.
Have you seen anyone step up on defense that have matured more as a leader, a vocal leader, or anyone else like that?
Well, Johnny and Markell, obviously, and Broderick Brown continue to do a good job. Jamie Blatnick's a quiet leader, and Richetti's is working at being a leader. Tyler Johnson, I see making some strides in those areas. So there's a few guys that are stepping up, and they have big shoes to fill. Roy Lemon was a great leader for us last year.
How are your linebackers progressing?
Well, they seem to be doing fine, and I haven't studied them as much. I'll probably wait till 8th or 10th practice really to study those guys, to give them an opportunity to kind of get in the flow of it, and so they can play full speed. But I'm happy with them being physical during practice. From that standpoint, I think they're doing fine.
You return most of your support staff, just a few changes, but the biggest change is your head trainer, and that's a pretty key deal. Rob Hunt did a heck of a job while he was here. Are you comfortable with Kevin and how that relationship's working for you?
Yeah, we've thanked Rob for what he did for us, and obviously he's going back home, being at Notre Dame, and Kevin's come in from Miami and has got a wealth of knowledge in that field, and is very experienced, and I'm happy with where we're at. He's been around a lot of big-time football teams and understands how to handle the athletes, and so as we continue to have success, there'll be guys come and go in our program, and so anytime you lose a coach or you lose somebody in the personnel, it's an opportunity to hire somebody better.
And you kind of gave him a chance to get closer to home.
Well, it is. Yeah, it's good for him. Yeah, he really wanted to get back this way, so it worked good for both of us.
So do you feel like you got more athletes, defensive athletes, on the 2 deep than you've ever had here before?
I think so. Athletically, we're further along now than we have been in the last 6 years. There's some inexperience there. I kind of use the term some no-name players, but they move around pretty well. And James has been in a lot of plays, and obviously Jamie and Devin Hedgepeth is still a young player that has got a lot of good reps ahead of him. So I feel good about where we're at. We have to continue to work hard. We have to stay healthy.
So as an offensive career guy, now the head coach, on a day like this where your defense clearly is kind of more interested and has the edge, are you torn by that, or are you?
No, I want the defense to win every day, and I'm convinced that we have to continue to recruit more speed, more athleticism on defense, and find ways to get big defensive tackles in here as we develop this program. And so I hope the defense dominates every day. I'm obviously comfortable with the experience we have on offense. We'll move the ball. So I spend most of my time in practice with defense anyway, and I enjoy that part of it.
So Herschel Sims gets significant touches today.
He did. He had several carries, and so we're to the point now where you find out if a freshman can handle the load. I noticed they're giving Josh quite a few reps down there on offense, and then defensively there's some guys that are getting in and getting work, and that's where you find out if they can handle the load early in their career.
So Whedon made a couple throws today that weren't typical Whedon throws. Does he beat himself up on stuff like that because he doesn't do that so often, or does he handle it pretty well?
I think he handles it well. He's pretty mature. I'm sure he takes it personal, but he does a really good job with his body language. He doesn't show a lot of disappointment.
Knowing football the way you do, Mike, if you were to visit this practice the last couple of days as an outside party, just a visitor, would you have seen the 8th ranked team in the country? Does it look like that to you yet?
Not really. I see an offense that's got the capability of scoring and doing it fast, but there's still some things they have to work through, and a defense that's still young at some point, or I should say to some point. And but I like where they're at from an effort standpoint. I like their attitude. The 8th team in the country is a pretty good team, so I don't think we're at that level yet, but I like where we're at this point in the season.
Going back to Herschel, I guess the increased carries he's getting in practice, is that maybe an indication of how much he's grasping the offense and learning as a freshman?
Yes, and between Herschel and Desmond, one of those guys is going to have to play that role of that third or fourth back based on how Kai Staley does. And so we've had success in the last few years playing a young back, and so we're expecting one of those guys to get some of those reps. Now, Des had a mild hamstring yesterday, and so he didn't practice, but he was out there today, and I liked how he ran the ball in our inside and tackle period. So maybe he'll take the challenge and start to show up a little bit more.
I appreciate it, Mike.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it.